And this should be pretty short and sweet. Just want to give an update on the new 2020 to 2021 WPC Winter Weather Desk. So there's a link to the YouTube video at the end of the presentation, which I also have available on our winter weather page. So if you want to, view it yourself, it's available. I've also updated our winter page with all this new information. So let's go ahead and get started. So brief outline, just gonna give an overview of the Winter Weather Desk along with their forecast methodologies. Look at the timeline for their products. Review the experimental winter storm outlook, which yes, it's still experimental. And then with the now operational winter storm severity index, and then talk about just a couple of changes to the models and ensemble members that are used by their probabilistic winter precip forecast. So brief overview, all these links again are on our winter page. So you have the internal page for the WPC WWD, includes a lot of the deterministic forecasts, the snow to liquid ratio graphics, links to the Winter Watch Collaborator, which is now a legacy product because it's kind of been replaced by the Winter Storm Outlook. Also links to the WSSI, and my favorite is you have a link to the WPC Super Ensemble Viewer and Plumes. I use those a lot when, like, I did the snowfall challenge, or even forecasting for a storm back in February. So from the internal page, you can access their. This is also good for QPF. It's not just snow and ice. So using your NOAA login, well, the login to the internal page is on our winter Google site, and then you use your NOAA login to access the Super Ensemble and the Plume viewers. And it pretty much just shows you days 1 through 3 forecast for each one of their ensemble members. And then the plume is kind of like the SREF plumes. The sites are pretty similar, so there's ILM, Florence. And you can view the plumes for each of their ensemble members. So that's on their internal site. And then, of course, they have their public winter site that shows their forecasts, the long-term probabilities, the ensemble surface low tracks, and then their discussions are all on their public site. So just really quick look at their forecast methodology. They use the QPF that's provided by the WPC QPF desk. Then they do a probability of precipitation type by a decision tree method that I'll show on the next slide. And then, the output from all the models using this tree method can be blended using their GFE tool called SCAVEC. Then they apply the snow to liquid ratio and ice to liquid ratio. Their current default is 0.85 of the NBM version 3.1, and then they make post edits. And they definitely recommend us using their snow ratio in our forecast for consistency and things like that. But we're not tied to it. It's just recommended. So we do have that available in our winter weather element group. And then the ice liquid ratio comes from the FRAM. And then, of course, step 4 is just multiplying the QPF times the prob snow or ice times the ratio. And so this is a quick look at their tree. I'm not going to, go through all of it, but this is pretty much what they use to come up with the, probability of sleet, snow, and freezing rain, and then rain. All of it together will equal 100, and yeah, it just looks at several different levels, kind of like a top-down method of sorts. And so yeah, that's their methodology for the probabilities. Look at the updated timelines. This is for the day shift. I just mostly wanted to highlight the initial winter storm outlook is available around 1630 on the day shift, and the main window of collaboration is through 2030 because that's when the final one is due and sent, and after that it's kind of, you can't really collaborate anymore. So you got a few hours for collaboration, but but this is their timing for products. Again, this is also available on our Google site. And nighttime's just shifted 12 hours. So initial winter storm outlook is available at 4:30, and then collaboration through 8:30 Z. So I just want to give a quick overview of the winter storm outlook, which again is based on the legacy Winter Watch Collaborator, but now this is done through AWIPS, and it's I think it's a lot cleaner, but it's the probability of exceeding the local WFO snow or ice winter storm watch criteria. It uses data from their super ensemble, and these grids are available in our winter weather element group at the bottom that Matt was showing in his YouTube video. It's called WSO Snow NC and then WSO Ice NC. And I just wanted to highlight, I'll mention on the next page, but they have added a 80% contour for this winter season. That's shown in the magenta, but it's customizable per office. But yeah, they kind of wanted to give a next level up besides just 50+%. So, okay, here we go. So again, for changes for the new season, they have extended the WSO through day 4 to bring it out a little bit more. They've added this max element for snow and ice, so you have the individual daily WSO plus a max ice and snow prob. That way you can see what's the max value of the next 4 days rather than just daily. The thing, some reason in AWIPS, these max grids get broken up into 24 hours rather than a 4-day long grid. So when you're looking at the WSO grids, make sure you're looking at, I think these are available in the, I gotta clarify the weather element group, but yeah, be sure you're looking at the actual WSO snow NC and not the max one, because they are right on top of each other, and I think they're looking at trying to fix why it's broken into 24 hours. They've added that 80% probability contour, and then they also have this new time binding technique that they've started using this year to try to help capture the storms that go past the 12-hour rather than just cutting it off, 12 to 0Z. They kind of have different 12 and 24-hour breakups so that the max out of any of those shows up in your WSO rather than, trying to capture the storms that continue through the night. So this is behind the scenes. I just wanted to point it out since it's new this year. And then, of course, we have the website that's available to the public. And so that window before, I believe, like 18:30 or so, the time to collaborate, once we're done collaborating, the WSO is available for the web and to the public. So you can click on the tabs to look at different days. You can look at snow or ice. You can zoom in, change. There's a lot you can do with this website. You can also, once you zoom into, WFO level, you can even print this, print the image or, screenshot it to use for briefings. Could come in handy. But again, this is for probability of exceeding like watch guidance. So you'd have to, it would take some describing as to what you're showing rather than just throwing this in a briefing, because it's not tied to, snow amounts or such. But it's available here for guidance. And so for the collaboration, I think WPC is still sending an initial banner if there's more than 5% of our CWA has over 50% probability and we don't have any products out. They'll send a banner once that criteria is met. If we don't have any products out, they will, for 2 or more CWAs, then they'll call us or like initiate a conference call to discuss it. We can also chat with them directly via AWIPS chat or a direct phone call. The phone number is also, I believe, I know it's on our winter page, and I'll check to see if it's on our phone book. And so they're available to chat. But again, WSO is designed to aid us in our watch and morning decision making. And so I've mentioned this, I think, the last 2 seasons, because WSSI has been around for a couple of years, but it's kind of, it's a prototype design for like to classify the impacts of the winter storm, rather than just a forecast of like snow and ice amount. So it summarizes multiple winter weather impacts into one graphic, or you can view the individual components. It's a 72-hour forecast that's derived directly from our forecasts, and it updates every 2 hours. This is also available online, so it's a public product. But it's web pages looks a lot like the WSO. You got the clickable tabs, the single legend with the updated colors from last year, pretty much getting rid of the green. You can also zoom in to our area. I think they're hoping to get like a population count in there somehow, similar to like SPC's outlooks, but I don't know how far along they are. But I'm looking forward to seeing this product in action if we ever actually get a storm that uses it. But we'll see. And so these are just the snow amount, snow load, ice accumulation. Then you got flash freeze, blowing snow, and ground blizzard. And so you can just view each 6 of these to see, which impact is going to be contributing the most to the overall storm severity. And what's new this year is they've added a where you can retrieve static images for either CONUS or WFO level. And so I've actually added these to our GIS situational awareness page under the winter tab. The 4 static images for ILM is on the bottom right corner. But yeah, and then the images update, like I said, it looks like 5 times a day. And you can actually thank Josh Weiss for this. He's the one that designed this page to retrieve the static images. So, yay, Josh.
I'd really like to thank Josh.
This is a kind of repeat slide from past years. Just WSSI is mostly to assist with situational awareness on the significance and like what could impact the most component-wise, and also to enhance communication to the external partners, media, and such. So see if we can make use of this at some point. Changes to the ensemble for this year is they've upgraded the number of members from 45 to 60 starting this winter season. Pretty much they added a bunch of European and Canadian ensemble members to their super ensemble, and they've decreased the number of SREF. They've also added a separate day 4 membership whatnot that's mostly just, of course, the global models and ensembles, so that they can extend that WSO out to day 4. So these are the what's new for the 2020 to 2021. And then again, I just wanted to bring this up from last year, which I'm not sure if we'll ever use it, but their WC does have a snowband probability page that began last year just to highlight areas where you might see some snow banding using href and I believe 1 or 2 other cams. But yeah, it's a good tool to look at. Again, any of these can be looked at for the rest of CONUS if you're just interested. And yep, summary: WSO and WSSI, useful tools to aid in decision making. Winterwatch Collaborator is still available on the internal page, and I think public as well, but it is considered legacy because Windstorm Outlook kind of includes the same information. Their WSO is available in GFE, 4:30 and 16:30 each day, with a few hours for collaboration afterwards. And yep, that's pretty much about it. So here's a link to the YouTube video, which again is also online. So if you have any questions, feel free.
Yeah, Vicky, this is Reed. Did they make any comment, and actually watch the video, if next year they're going to increase the number of GFS ensemble members since they, increased the number this year?
They didn't mention that specifically.
Yeah, for next year, yeah.
Yeah, no, they haven't. I don't remember them talking specifically about the future of the ensemble. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. They change a lot each year.
Okay.
But yeah, they
I-
definitely put a lot more weight on the European.
yeah. Well, there's more. There's 50 members now. There's 30. I guess there were 20 before. Now there's 30 members in the GFS. So, and they probably want to see how they're doing. I'll ask Josh or
Yeah, there
what
might
they're
not be enough
thinking.
verification for them to
Yeah.
decide. But yeah, we'll see.
Thanks.
Anyone else? All right. If not, again, there's a WPC Winter Weather Desk link on our winter Google page. So if you want to reference any of this information whenever we get snow, I do say when, not if, feel free. So I guess we'll move on to Matt.